Hello and welcome to another episode of Leadership Talk, where we dive deep into what makes exceptional leadership in today's complex business world. I am your host, Dr. Joan Lawrence-Ross, and today we are tackling something I am incredibly passionate about. We are talking about preparation. You know, I often get asked, what is the secret to leadership success? And while there are many factors at play, I have found that preparation is absolutely foundational. In fact, when we look at the most successful leaders across industries, they consistently demonstrate a 2-to-1 ratio of preparation to execution. That is right. They spend twice as much time getting ready before actually doing the thing. So today's big question is, are you ready for your next leadership opportunity? Let me start with a personal story. When I worked for a major financial services company, I was offered the chance to lead a high-stakes global project that would have been a game changer for my career. The compensation was incredible, the visibility was exactly what I wanted, and honestly, it seemed like the perfect next step. But here is the painful truth. I was not prepared. I had not fully developed the cultural intelligence needed to navigate the complexities of leading teams across 5 different regions in more than 20 countries. I hesitated, and the opportunity went to someone else who had been intentionally developing those skills for years. How many of you have missed leadership opportunities simply because you were not prepared? Post a comment below and let me know if this resonates with you. Let us look at a contrasting example, Satya Nadella. Before becoming Microsoft's Chief Executive Officer, he spent years developing cross-functional expertise within the company. His preparation included technical knowledge, business acumen, and perhaps most importantly, cultivating a growth mindset. When his opportunity came, he was ready, and he has gone on to transform Microsoft's culture and business model. We often admire leaders like Nadella, but we rarely ask ourselves the most important question. Are we prepared, equipped, or willing to pay the price these leaders endured? Very often, the problem is not lack of opportunity. It is lack of readiness. This is what I call the preparation gap, the distance between the opportunities available to us and our actual readiness to seize them. Getting prepared, however, is only half the battle. In today's rapidly changing business landscape, we need to stay prepared. Think about it. In this information age, knowledge is literally doubling by the minute. The skills that made you successful 5 years ago might be completely obsolete today. Let me share something I have implemented in my own leadership journey. Every weekend, I block off 2 hours for what I call my future-proofing session. I review industry trends, read case studies of innovative companies, and identify one new skill to develop that week. This simple practice has helped me anticipate challenges instead of just reacting to them. Consider Reed Hastings of Netflix. He is a master of anticipatory leadership. He reinvented Netflix's business model multiple times, first from DVD rentals to streaming, then from streaming to content creation. Each pivot happened before the industry shift became obvious to others. So how can you stay prepared? Here are 4 practices I recommend. First, dedicate at least 5 hours weekly to purposeful learning in your field. This is not passive scrolling. I am talking about intentional study. Second, build a diverse network that challenges your thinking. If everyone in your circle thinks like you, you are in trouble. Third, practice scenario planning. Regularly ask yourself, what might change in my industry in the next 3 to 5 years? And fourth, this one is crucial. Develop a personal board of advisors who can provide honest feedback on your blind spots. I have 5 people in my circle who have permission to tell me the truth, even when it hurts. How many hours do you currently dedicate to deliberate learning each week? Type your answer in the comments. I am genuinely curious. Let us tackle another critical aspect of preparation, choosing the right path to prepare for. One of the most important questions you must ask yourself is, what am I actually preparing for? Because here's the truth. All leadership paths are not created equal. I learned this lesson the hard way early in my career. I spent 2 years developing technical expertise for a specific industry, only to realize I had zero passion for that field. All that preparation wasted because I had not properly evaluated whether the path aligned with my strengths and values. Warren Buffett offers a brilliant example of path selection. For decades, he deliberately avoided the tech industry, even during the dot-com boom when everyone thought he was missing out. Why? Because he understood his strengths lay in evaluating businesses with predictable cash flows and strong competitive advantages. His wisdom was not just in his investment skills, but in knowing which paths aligned with his capabilities. Now, if you are still searching for your optimal path, here is an exercise I would like you to do after watching this video. Invest 1 hour to write down clearly the leadership goals that really matter to you right now. Be specific. For example, rather than writing, "Become a better leader," aim for something like, "Develop emotional intelligence skills that help me navigate difficult conversations with team members." And here is my challenge to you today. Can you allow the unexciting dreams of yesterday to die? And will you stop pursuing goals that no longer inspire and excite you? I had a mentor who once told me, "If the horse is dead, stop torturing yourself and dismount." This advice changed my life. 11 years ago, I walked away from a prestigious position that looked great on paper but drained my energy every day. It was terrifying to let it go, but it created space for opportunities that actually aligned with my strengths and passions. Let us get practical for a minute. How do you know if you are truly prepared for leadership opportunities? I have developed a 5-question assessment that I use with my coaching clients, and I would like to share it with you. First, do you have a clear understanding of your leadership strengths and weaknesses? And importantly, is your understanding validated by feedback from others? Second, have you developed systems for continuous learning that fit your schedule and learning style? Third, are you building relationships with people who will challenge you to grow, not just those who make you comfortable? Fourth, do you know how to make tough decisions with incomplete information? And fifth, have you identified which leadership skills you need to develop most urgently in the next 12 months? I recommend reviewing these questions quarterly. When you regularly evaluate your leadership journey, you put yourself in a position to unclutter your life of the unnecessary and proactively prepare for what's ahead. Leadership readiness is not just about having the right skills. It is also about developing the right mindset. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset shows that leaders who believe their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work create more innovative and resilient organizations. This book transformed how I approach preparation. I realized I was treating leadership skills as fixed traits rather than muscles that could be developed. To wrap up today's discussion, I want to leave you with a practical preparation plan that I use with my executive coaching clients. First, define your leadership aspirations with specificity. Which positions do you actually want? What outcomes are you seeking? Second, conduct thorough research. Understand the criteria for success by speaking with people who hold similar roles. Third, explore aspirational options across divisions, functions, and even industries to broaden your perspective. Fourth, and this is a concept I have developed called value reciprocity. Create a chart that answers 4 questions. What does the company need to win in the industry? What knowledge and skills will you bring to help them succeed? What is the company's promise to you? What is your promise to the company? This reciprocity framework ensures you are preparing for roles where you can genuinely add value. Finally, create a detailed plan that analyzes opportunities, evaluates your strengths and weaknesses, sets a growth timeline, and identifies necessary resources. I love what author Brendan Burchard says, "The best time to study the map is before you enter the woods." The time to prepare is not when opportunity knocks, it is long before you hear the sound at the door. That is it for today's episode of Leadership Talk. If you find this discussion valuable, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more leadership insights and to stay updated with our latest episodes. Also, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What leadership opportunity are you preparing for right now? And what is one step you will take this week to better prepare? I am Dr. Joan Lawrence-Ross, founder of Uncommon Resilience and your leadership success coach. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep preparing for your leadership journey.